there, thanks for joining me to do some coloring today. Today we are going to be doing some watercoloring, and we're going to be using this cute Polkadoodles image called Bella Bear Bouquet. Isn't he or she cute? She's got a little package there. I put a link to this little image down in the description box if you want to pick it up. I put that down there. So next week we are going to do Some Odd Girl stamp called, it's a digital image called Nerdy Piper. So she's what we're going to work on next week. And we're going to be coloring her this dark skin tone. So if you love that, we're going to do that. I also have her over on the blog with a bunch of other skin tones if you want to check out some other colors. We're going to color this color, but there are a whole bunch more over there in case you want to see that. And then the following week, we're going to do this birdie selfie card. And this is a card kit, so you'll have to head over to the store and pick one up if you want to color along with me. We're going to color the birds and put our card together. And then for the background here, we're going to color these little clouds in there with our Copics. We haven't done that before, so that should be new. And then this card kit comes with 3 sentiments. It comes with best wishes, smile, or love if you want to, for each card, so you can pick which one you want to use for your card and put that on the bottom. You may have to move the card around, the birds around a little bit to fit the love one in, because it's a little bit taller, but that comes with that if you want to use love instead. So this is a card kit. If you want to do this one, head over to the store and grab it up, and it will be there in time for you to color with me on the day we do that. And this is May 3rd, and this is next week, which I think is the 26th. But we're going to do Bella today. All right, so anyway, I have just a regular old clipboard here that I'm going to tape my image down on. I like to tape it down so that it will stay flat. And this is Arch's 140-pound watercolor paper. It's cold press. So in case you want to get that, there is a link for that down in the description box also. And this image is a digital image, so what I did is I printed it out on a piece of copy paper, and then I used my light box to draw it onto my paper. I couldn't get my printer to print it out onto my cardstock. I have a laser printer. You need to use a laser printer if you're going to, well, that's not going to be big enough, if you're going to use watercolor so that it'll stay. And mine decided that it did not want to suck it up in the printer, so I just drew it on there. So we tape it all the way down. And this is just plain old blue painter's tape. It was Mr. Hobbyhaven's at once. He didn't know that when he loaned it to me, he was never getting it back. Hi, Julie. It's kind of a little surprise there. Ta-da! You're never getting it back. So, we're going to be using this Jane Davenport Glitzy Sea palette. And we're going to use the Prima Confections palette. And then we're also going to use the Prima Pastel Dreams palette. If you want to pick any of those up, you can grab those in the description box. But that's what we're going to use. So I colored my bear like this the first time, but I didn't write any of these colors down. So we may not get the same exact color that we have here. We're just going to wing it. That'll be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and use this complexion palette because it comes with all these great browns. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So you could color people with this. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. So let's move this over here. Let me see. I bet you I could take this out. Maybe that would work a little bit better. So let's remove this. Let's set this right here. How about right there? That way you can kind of see it. And I'm going to use this silver black velvet brush. It's number 6. I have a couple of containers for water. One's for clean water, one's for to clean my brush off. And I have a paper towel. Yep, see? Wait, what? We're going to use this Confections palette and the Pastel Dreams is Prima. And then this one, what's it called? Glitz C is a Jane Davenport one. And I put a link to all 3 down in the description box. All right, so we're going to just get a paintbrush wet. And then, let me see, maybe go down a little bit. I don't want to go down too far because I want to be able to see what color I pick, but maybe not. Okay, and I think I'll just grab a piece of acetate and set it here on the side so I can just kind of put my paint on that. Wipe my brush off and stuff on there, or mix my paint on that. You can also use a little tin. I've used this, and somebody mentioned the other day that if you just pop this out, look, there's like little wells in here. You could actually remove this and then use your tin at the bottom for to mix paint in case you needed more room. So I thought that was kind of neat. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a light color first. So let me get my little cheat sheet. So I have this little cheat sheet. So I'm thinking we're going to do number 31 first. So I'm going to put some paint on, or some water onto my number 31. Get it wet. And that tends to be, for me, that tends to be a lot of water on there. So what I like to do is just put it onto my palette or onto something else, and then use it off of there. So see, if you have your little palette, let me move this. If you have your palette, I'm kind of pressed for where I want to put things here. If you have your palette, you can put this paint like on here. Now that I made a mess. So you just grab it off your paint thing and then you stick it onto this like that. Okay, so what I tend to do first is I rinse my paintbrush off, make sure it's got clear water. And then I so I put it in my paint thing, I swish it around in here to get some water, and then I kind of smush it on the side of my jar to get some off. And then I take my paper towel and I go dab. I know, technical, right? And then I'm gonna start over here. I want it to be darkest over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get my paper wet. And then kind of wipe it across. And you may have to get your paintbrush wet again but I again get it wet and then I dry it off. I dab it off onto my paper towel because I don't want it to be soaking. And when I traced my image on here, I used a micron pen. It's waterproof. I want to make sure to do that. Okay, so let's put some on his ear. Okay, and then we're going to pick up some of this paint off of our little palette right here. And then I just go around. And because there's already water on there, it kind of spreads out on its own. We're going to wipe it this way, make sure we go clear across. And watercoloring takes a bit. It's not like Prismas that it's instant. So be prepared to take a while. I usually color it and then I wander off and I come back and add colors. More color later. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to do his foot. Let's see. So again, I'm going to get it wet. Grab a little paint. Come in here and put some down. And this one's got quite a little puddle there, so I'm going to dab on my paper towel and then come back after I've dabbed it and dab on it with my brush to pick that extra water up. I don't want it to be that wet because it will make your paper warp up. Okay. Then, yeah, see, it's still damp and it's kind of bubbling up here, so you want to wait for that to dry, but right here this is not part of his shirt, this is his neck. So let's go ahead and color that. Okay, and then to speed things up, you can take your heat tool and give it a blasting with heat. Or you can wait But we don't have 3 hours to sit here, so we're just going to give it a quick drying with our heat tool. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and pick another color. So let's see here. Let's grab my little sheet. So let's try, I don't know, I'm kind of liking this goldy one. Let's try that this time. I think I used this last time, but I'm really liking this. So let's try that. So we're going to grab a little bit of that. So we're going to get it wet. So that's this one. And it's number 101. The other one was number 31 in case you have these at home and you want to do that. So I'm going to get it wet, activate the paint here, and then I'm going to put it onto my little palette. So let's just put it right over here. Like that. And then I rinse my brush off. And then dip it in my clean water. And then wipe on the side. And dab on your paper towel. And then again, I come back and I'm going to get where I want to put my paint on my bear wet. So let's put a little bit there. Let's grab a little dab. And then I'm going to rinse my brush off and get my brush wet again. Dab it off. So I only have water on here now. And I've got this line right here. Whoops, let me move it down. Sorry about that. I've got this little line. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to brush over the top of that line and soften that color up. And I got a little bit of line right here I don't want to leave there. So I'm going to dab that a little bit too. Kind of spread that out here. Okay, and then we'll let that dry. So let's go over here and we will get my brush wet. And then I want this side of his face because it's tipped down, or her side of her face. I want it to be darker, so I'm going to go ahead and go like this with my water. Get a little C. We need a little bit more, I think. Yes, let's go maybe out here just on the opposite side of his eye. We'll go around and let's go to his neck right here. And we'll grab some of our paint. And I'm going to just go right around in my C. And then I'm going to get my brush, clean it off, dip it in the clean water, make sure it's clean, and then just dab it on the paper towel, and then I'm going to come back with just water on my brush and use that to pull this out this way and soften this line a little bit. Okay, my brush has got some gunk on there, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse it, get new wet water, and then come back and dab further this way because there's still a line right here. And I'm not so worried about it over here because I'm going to still darken that up further. But we don't want it to be, I got a little bit right here, so let's grab a little paint and see what we can do around this bee. Okay, then we'll rinse it off, clean water, and then come back. And again, we want to soften this edge, so I'm just using my clean water and dabbing it towards the center, towards his face, towards his nose. And there's a little dab over here, so let's do that. And just kind of swirl it towards his nose. And then I'm going to go over here while it's still wet. So we'll go out here. I'm just going to brush this darker stuff into the middle and soften this edge just a little bit. Okay, let's do his ear over here too. So I want the bottom of his ear to be a little bit darker. So let's go this. And then we'll soften it with some water right here. Okay. Then we'll hop down here and we'll do his foot. I'm gonna pick my thing up here. I should have maybe taped it up a little bit further, but too late. Okay, so on his leg, let's do, whoops, that's too much water. I gotta dab it on my paper towel because there's a puddle on here. I don't want a puddle. I just want to see a little shininess. Okay, I'll grab some paint. Now let's do his neck right here too before I forget. Okay, so they got your line there, so rinse your brush off, grab some clean water, dab on your paper towel, come back with your clean water and just soften this edge. Okay. Then we're gonna try. So get your blaster out, or you can wander off and do something else and come back. That's usually what I do. And mine, when you look at it, the little bear's like raised up here on the top. He's got a bubble right here. So he's wet, so if I dry him, he'll squish back down. So, yep, there he's flat again. Okay, so let's pick a new color. So let's go, since we did this one, let's go ahead and add, I'm thinking this right here, number 87. Because it kind of goes with the goldy feel that this one has. So we're going to get that wet. Activate our paint here a little bit. And then I'm just going to put that on my palette. So we're going to add that to our little pile here. And make sure to rinse your brush off. Get some clean water on it. Dab it on your paper towel. And then let's go ahead and start on his ear right here this time. Okay, so this one is, since his ear's on the bottom, I want it to be darker down here. So we'll grab a little bit of our paint. I'll start with that and see how that goes. I'm going to wipe my brush off because it's got quite a bit on there. And then I want to soften this little corner right here on his ear. So I'm going to rinse my whole brush off and go back with just the water. And dab that edge of that water and soften it out here into his ear. And then let's do his face. So I'm going to get some clean water, dab my brush, and then I'm going to do my little C. So let's start here at this little pokey part of his hair that's coming up. And then we'll come around. I'm going to do a little bit on his ear right there. I'm going to get a little bit more water. But every time I get water, I always drop it off onto my paper towel. And then we'll get paint. Grab his neck right there too, since I'm right there. Okay, so now we have all this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my brush. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this paint on my brush, that red that we picked, and I'm going to put it over here in this light colored one that we had before, the little goldy one. Kind of mix them together a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use that. Come in here and kind of put on the edge right here. Okay, and then let's soften this with our water. So get some water on your brush. Come back. Soften this edge. I'm going to do up here on his ear. Okay, I'm liking that. But I'm thinking he still needs to be a little bit darker, so let's go with number 91. So we get that wet. I'm just going to add that to my little tray over here on my palette. Little dab. And this is still wet. I didn't dry it, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush off, dry it, and then pick up some of this brown. And then add that right along the edge, and because it's still wet, it's going to pull that color out into our red. I probably should do some over here on this ear, so let's grab a little bit right here. Because this is the bottom of the ear, I'm going to put it down there. I'm going to grab some of that brown. Dab that in there. I'm going to dab my brush off. And then I'm just going to smooth this up here. And I dab my brush again until I come up here where I don't have a bunch of blobbies on there. Okay. Then I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to come back, and I've got this big line right here. So let's go ahead and go with just our wet brush and soften this out this way a little bit. I think I'm going to grab a little bit of that red. That was number 87. Now I'm going to grab some of that 31. And it's still wet. I'll come in here and bring that down to his nose. Okay, let's let that sit a minute. And let's hop down here and add some to his leg. So we're gonna go, what did I go with? 87. Let's grab some. I ran out on my palette, so I'm gonna put some more of that over here. And let's grab some of this brown too, as long as we're grabbing. Okay, we're gonna add this red, which was number 87, down here. And I'm going to rinse my brush off, dab it, and soften it out here towards the outside. And then let's add a little bit of brown. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that, which was 91. And I'm going to rinse my brush and dry it. I'm going to give it a little bit more dry this time. And then come back and soften this edge just a little bit. Good for you, Julie. You need to get those errands done. Okay, so we're going to dry it. And his feet down here a lot less red than the top, so I might add another coat of our 87 on there just to lighten that out, give it a more of a red tone. But I guess it is underneath of his shirt, or her shirt, whichever you prefer. Okay. So, let's go ahead down here. I think I'll add a little bit of red. So I'm going to grab some of my 87. I didn't get it wet this time. You can still. I just forgot. Yeah, let's grab some for this side. And I'm going to rinse, dab, and come out here so I can bring that a little bit out here so his leg doesn't look so crusty here. Okay, I like that. All right, let's go up here. We'll let that dry a little bit. Let's go up here and we're going to get some black. So black was number 12. So that's this one. And again, I'm going to put it on my palette. So I'm just going to dab it over here on my little tray. And we're going to do her nose. Look at that giant puddle I've got. That's way too much. So let's cover it up. And then I'm going to take my paper towel. I'm going to just dab all this off on my paper towel. And then I'm going to come in here and go and suck it up with my paintbrush. Okay, we'll let that dry a minute. We'll add some more. So let's go ahead and grab number 41, which is this pink. I'm going to put some water on there. And I'm going to put that also over here on my palette. I'm just going to find a spot. So how about right here? Okay. I'm going to use the pink on the ears. So let's go ahead and get those wet. And we're also going to give some pink cheeks. We're just going to get that wet, and we'll pick up some of that pink. Grab some more. Ran out. We'll grab some more. And I'm pretty sure this side's going to need a little bit more. That doesn't look very pink, does it? I must have added maybe a little bit of red to that last time. So we still might do that. Okay, let's go ahead and add a little bit for cheek color too. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush, and I'm going to grab some more pink here and put it on my palette. And then cheeks. So let's do... How about right, I better remember to dry my brush off. Let's do right here. And let's do the same for the other sides. Let's go over here. Give it a little swirl of water. Grab some of our paint. Okay, I'm going to say that I added a little bit of pink to that this time, because that's not very pink. So I'm going to grab my Pastel Dream ones, and we're going to add number 39. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of my 41 and put it onto my palette. I'm going to put it on here. And then we're going to get number 39 wet. I'm going to add a little bit of that over here. And then I'm just going to mix these two up. So that pink, that red's not quite as pink. And then let's dab a little bit on here. Okay, so his little cheek over here is looking kind of sad right here. So I'm going to dab my brush off. I'm going to come in with my my brush, just water, whoops. And let's kind of soften this a little bit. Get that wet, and then I'm going to take my paper towel and kind of dab some of that up here at the bottom. It's kind of messy. Oh, I think I made it worse. And I went out the lines right here. Let's see if we can wipe that up. I'm just getting a little bit of water on here where I colored out the line. I'm just going to go like this. Okay, so now I took most of my pink off, so let's add a little bit more. I should have left it alone. Okay. Now, this side. All right, so far so good. Okay, let's dry that. And let's take a little bit of our number 39. Stick that right in here a little bit. Same for this side. Make it a little bit pinker there. Okay. I'm thinking that maybe we need to put some more pink on our cheek here. I don't really love how this looks. Okay, we're gonna let that sit for a minute. All right, so let's go down here and we will do the shirt. So, no, let's do these leaves next. So for our leaves, we're going to use green. So let's go ahead and use our Jane Davenport one. And so I'm gonna do my leaves in, let's do, they don't have numbers on these, so it's SYLF or SYLPH. Let's try that one. Okay, and let's do those. These are going to be the darkest ones, so let's go ahead and do these littler ones with the green. And since they're so little, I'm just going to use a little bit of paint that I got on my brush and paint them in. I'm not going to get them wet first because they're kind of dinky. But there's also some bigger leaves in here that we're going to color. We'll do a different green so that they have a couple of different colors. Okay, so we got those, and then we got this. Let's see. Let's do this one, this one, this one, and that one. A little bit darker color. Okay. I'm going to rinse my brush. And then let's do, for the other leaves, let's do this Enchantress. We'll do these off ones down here. Helps if you get a little bit of paint on there. Okay, then let's go ahead and add some yellow. So we're going to use the number 42 in our Pastel Dreams set. And I'm going to use that on our B. Oops. I don't think I need quite that much. And then we have a few centers of our flowers, so let's do those. And if you kind of move around, then you can allow things to dry. And you come back and then another section is all dried up. And let's see, let's do... Oops, that wasn't a petal. This was... That was not a flower inside. This wasn't. So I'm going to just get it wet and then dab it a little bit. And then we'll paint it a different color. Okay. This is the center right here. And then this part. All right. Okay, what can we do with this little bear here? He's going to need something. I'm thinking I'm going to take number 31 and come along here. I'm going to rinse my brush off. I'm going to come back with just a little bit of water on here and bring this out. And kind of smooth over this little cheek here. That'll make it look a little bit better. Not quite so glumpy. And then while we're there, let's add some of our black to our nose. And then we'll add some of this red again over to this side. So that was number 87. So I'm going to do over here. And let's add some more black to our nose. Okay. Let's go down here and we're gonna do our package here. Let's do that with, oh, let's do that one. Needs a little brown on there too. So how about 31, which we did for our bear in the face. I'll put a little bit on there. Then I'm going to brush my brush off. I'm going to come back. Whoops, it's too much. Come back and just kind of move this around so it's really light. And then I'm going to go over it, I think, a little bit with some black. I will just put down a little color there first. And then let's add a little bit of color to our bee wings. So for that, I'm going to use number 47 in our Pastel Dreams palette. Get it wet. So they have some color on the wings. I try not to go outside the lines because I did paint up there and I don't want it to turn blue. That butterfly's wings too. Then let's go down here and we'll do these flowers. So let's do, what color flower should we have? I'm thinking I'm going to paint his shirt a different color this time. I painted it red and pink last time. So let's do the flowers maybe pink. No, I think I'm going to stick with that. Let's go with the purple flowers. So that's number 48 in our Pastel Dreams palette. Okay, let's see here. Let's do, I think I'll do a little bit more of this purple on here. Whoops, try not to color everything. And then we better get this little heart right here. So we're going to do that with the number 39 that we added to our ears. And then let's go ahead and do the stripes on the shirt. Let's go ahead and use our 39 for that. And I just colored down here with the purple, so I'm going to skip that one for a minute. And I'll come back. As I don't want to touch anything that might be wet, because then it'll pull the color over to where I don't want it. Same with this one. It's kind of purple right there. It's got a little bit there, so I'm just going to start over here. Give that a second to dry. Whoops, I painted my envelope. Okay, so I'm going to carefully go around this flower. Get it started a little bit, and then I think I'll dry it with my tool. Just to be sure. Hi Doodle Art, thanks for coming by. Okay, so these little dark green leaves, I'm not really loving those. Let's see if I can pull a little bit up by putting some water on there and then dabbing it. Let's see if we can make them just a little bit lighter. They're kind of crazy green. I don't know if I love that. I'm not loving it. Be careful with your dabbing though. You don't want to dab it and then get it somewhere else like I did right here. Let's get that wet. Go like this. And then we'll dab it in a clean spot. Hopefully that'll pick it up. Alright, now let's add some more pink to our shirt here. Or number 39. Alright. I think I might add a little bit more purple to this little flower down here too. It's looking kind of light. I got some in my center there. Okay, let's add a little bit more blue to our butterfly wings and maybe a little bit more black to our nose. I'm just kind of hopping around so that I can add color to places that are dry. Okay, and then I think I'll add a little bit of black to my envelope to give it a little bit of shading. So let's maybe go, not that much, kind of in the cracks. I painted my envelope red right here. Gives it a little bit of color there. Okay, let's give him something to stand on. So, dirt. He's going to need some dirt. Let's see. Looks like it's kind of got some sparkles to it, so I must have used this Pastel Dream ones because these are kind of sparkly. So let's try number 38. So let's go like this. Oh, sorry about that. If you can hear the dogs going off, the UPS man must be here, or FedEx. Alright, so we'll start with that color and see how that goes. That doesn't look like the color I used. This one looks really shimmery. I don't know. What did I use? Maybe I added some Stardust over the top or something. Alright, so let's go ahead and dry this. And then we can do the other stripe on his shirt, or her shirt. Since we made it, I think I'm going to do the pink stripe like I did on the other one. Okay. So pink stripes. Let's add another little section to her nose though first. It's sunny here today, so it could be that either the UPS man was here or someone's just walking by. Nope, it was the UPS man. Sounded like his truck. Okay, so I tried to keep her nose a little bit lighter up here at the top. I'm going to dab it, and then I'm going to go. So it's a little bit lighter. Okay, shirt. Let's see. Pink. So let's do number 41. No, let's do number 40 in the Pastel Dreams one, because it's got some shimmers to it. And I like shimmers. Add some more black to her nose. Grab some more pink. And I think that I'm going to do some more of that 39 too. That was the other dark pink one. Or red. Oops. A little crazy there. Alrighty, I'm liking her. Okay, so let's go ahead and give her a quick dry, and then we will give her a background. Actually, before we do the background, let's add something down here for the skirt. I want to have it a little bit darker. I'm going to do number 37. And I think that, oh, I know. Let's do, it was number 49 in our Confections palette that has this shimmers in it. It looks like gold. Add that. That was where the shimmer came. I didn't remember which one I put on there. Okay, we'll dry this, and then we'll give it something around the outside. Okay, let me pick up some of these palettes here real quick, because we're not going to need any more of this. Okay, so I'm going to use my Pastel Dreams to do the outside. So let's go ahead and put all this away. And then for the outside part, we're going to, let's go up a little bit. We are going to get some clean water. And I didn't wipe my brush off, I just dipped it into my clean water. And I'm just going to add some of that around my bear. I'm going to try not to touch anything else. I don't want to touch the bee's wings or anything. I want to stay on the outside of the lines. Let's go up here to his ear. I'm going to get the stamp. And then let's use number 44 in our Pastel Dreams one. It's kind of a aqua color. It's this color right here. And I'm just going to touch my pen down, my paintbrush down into my water that's already there, and it's going to kind of pool up and go wherever it wants. And let's do the same thing for the other side. So I'm going to get some water on my brush. Well, let's just continue around the outside here. Let's go up here, and I'm trying not to get on the line where the bear is. I'm just spreading some water. You may have to get your brush wet again, so I'm going to get mine wet again and bring it out here. Oops, I picked up some fuzz. We can wipe that off. Push it over there. And we're going to go down here towards the bottom. And a little dab right here in between the legs. Okay. So let's grab some more of our paint, number 44. And we're just going to go up here and let's go. I'm going to grab some more water. And I'm going to go, let's try this first. And I know you can't see it very well because it's just pretty light on there, so I'm going to think I'm going to add a little bit darker one. Maybe the next one, number 45. Just so you can see it. A little bit better. Let me add some water to that so it can start doing its thing. Alright, so grab some more water, and let's just go around the outside again. And I'm going to remember, try not to touch anything. You want to keep your water out here. If you're brave, you could do this part first. And then hopefully use a color that you could just color over the, if you made a mistake and got some on your bear, you could just cover over it. Alright, so let's grab number 45, which was a darker green. And we'll add that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm going to get my brush wet with some water. And then I'm just going to go out here and use my damp brush to smush it around a little bit more. I don't want to just puddle right there and look like that. So we're going to go around our stuff. And if I get the edge of this line wet, then it will go, it'll make the paint go out that way. Okay, what can we do with this butterfly here? Or this bee? Okay, I like that so far. So now I'm going to go dry. We're going to dry. Okay, let's add, I think I'm going to add some number 41. That's the pink color. That would be pretty. I'll get it wet. I don't want it to be everywhere, so let's go with our just water and we'll go this. And maybe some over here. Maybe some right here. And I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do some more of that green in here. So you can really just fiddle with it until you get it however you like. And then you dry it. You can also just leave it sit here and let it dry by itself, and then come back later. Leave it taped to your board. You don't want to remove the tape until it's dry. Hi, Teresa. Thanks for coming by. Mine's got a little bit of bubble right here, so it's not dry. Okay, so it's all flat again. So after it's all dry, so I'm going to call this done. For me, that looks pretty good. So after it's all dry, you can peel the tape off, and I peel it so that you peel away from your person or from your image. So I peel it away from my person, from my paint. And then you have a cute little thing you can put on your card. And because it's watercolor paper, and even though I dried mine and it's still pretty flat, it's still kind of worked. See, it's kind of bent. So you want to make sure to either put it up on some pop dots or some foam tape, or, hi Christina, or something that's some really super strong adhesive that's going to hold it down flat, or maybe leave it overnight underneath of a couple of books so that it gets, oh, it's Teresa's birthday. Sorry. It's Teresa's birthday. Happy birthday, Teresa. So leave it underneath a couple of books. I also sometimes cheat and run it through my my Vagabond or my Sizzits Big Shot. I just put it between the plates and run it through a few times, and that'll squish it real flat too. So if you don't want to wait, you can cheat. You can't do that. But see how much different it looks from, this is the one I colored before over here with the blue flowers, and this is the one we did today. But just using different colored paints from the same palettes. For the bear, he looks completely different than this side. So anyway, so that's what we did today. Next, don't forget, next week we are going to do Nerdy Piper. We're going to color the little colored girl. Here we're going to give her darker skin. I still don't think I'm fabulous at that, but we're going to give it a try. And if you want to see other colors, make sure to head over to the store blog and check out the blog post for this, because there's a whole bunch more on there listed. And then on the 3rd of May, we're going to do this selfie, birdie selfie card, and we're going to learn to do this. We're going to color the birds too, but we're going to do this background here with the Copic markers to make these clouds. So this is a card kit. So if you want to grab this, head over to the store and pick one up. There's still some left. But anyway, yeah, that's what we did today. Watercoloring. So if you girls have a suggestion for what you want to do in a future video, let me know, and I will add it to my list of things to do. So I hope you guys are having a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.